All right, so our last topic today is, what do you do when you start falling for your best friend? Interesting. Assuming, okay, so now of course we know we are talking about opposite sex best friends, clearly, because you can start,
but I don't think having a best friend is a thing.
Really?
I always say hakuna relationship man na like female, like male and female, ati mkuwe best friends for years and there's nothing. Most of the time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I stand to be corrected. Most of the time, one of you is having secretly feelings, like, secret feelings for the other person, na anangoja tu ile time yenye it's right.
It's so weird you should mention that.
Most of my best, wenye nilikuwa nasema ni best male friends, wali end up kunikatia.
But they always do that. It's so weird you should mention that, because when there's a time we're talking about it and I said on the show, listen, as a man, there's one thing that is going to dominate everything. Like the one head is always going to dominate. So as long as you set those boundaries and let him know, Cheki, this is not going further than it is, it's not gonna go further than it is. But there are those who I've had a best friend, not best friend, like a childhood friend for like 20 years now, ajai nikatia. And on the other hand, mwingine alijaribu kunikatia, nikasema zi, and now we're still friends. You know, it's very possible. You just have to set the boundaries.
Hakupendi,
anaweza kuwa tu anaweza
20 years.
Labda anaona naweza manage ama siwezi manage.
But you see, let me tell you, let me just chime in on that. Let me tell you, when you're best friends with a man, he will definitely at some point try.
Exactly.
But they will. It's about you setting the rule and saying, no, I don't think we're gonna lose our friendship, because sometimes your friendship is more worthy than just a 2-minute, 3-minute pleasure.
Yeah. Let me give you a very good example. Yeah. Elodie and Nviru were friends for 8 years before they started dating.
Now look at them.
Now look.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does. It could work, but depend. I think when you start to get those feelings, let me speak from a woman's point. When you start to feel those feelings, you have to gauge, does your friend feel the same? Because somehow you will know. Energy does not lie. You will know if he likes you. But also, if you're intending to tell them, also just be ready for them saying no. It's a probability, a 50% probability that they will say no, and also 50 that they probably feel the same, so walk into it knowing anaweza kataa, na pia acha nikwambie, the minute amekataa, where does your relationship go from there?
Where does it stand?
And also, if you decide to pursue it, just know you losing your friend is a very high possibility. Because, for example, you see, like with Nviri and Elodie, now that's an 8-year friendship that was really good, that is gone. I think that's the reason why I've always been thinking, men, I keep saying, men only think with one part of their body 90% of the time. They don't think about their future. When you have a male friend and you're like, okay, he's cool, he's nice, he's funny, check. But if we date, I know all of this goes away. If you as the woman can set those boundaries, it's not gonna happen. But on the flip side, as the girl, if you're starting to have feelings for the guy, how do you tell you're starting to have feelings for the guy? You get jealous that he's bringing girls around. You only want to spend time with him. I'm telling you, tell signs. When you start figuring these things out, just know, if you decide to pursue it, that friendship, just think back about the friendship before you started getting jealous, before you wanted to spend time with him alone and without anyone else. Think about that friendship and think about it ending, because that is a 50% chance.
And most of the time, it's sad, but when the lady is falling for their best friend, who is male, obviously, itakuwa ngumu for that man ukimwambia aseme no. Most of the time, they might say they feel the same, but then
just to get into your pants.
It's easier for a woman to say no to their male best friend and remain friends. But when you tell a man, because mwanaume atakuwa like, sasa
this is my chance,
alafu nimkatae. So it's more dangerous for you as a woman to tell your male best friend that you have feelings for them, because you'll never really know if they really had feelings for you, or they just said yes because they didn't want to hurt you.
And not just to hurt you. Sometimes they just want to just
like I said, there's one part of their body that works best.
They want to hear
the one part. That is what they're thinking with. But you need to be able to think long term. Honestly, that's the only thing I can tell you, because they're you know what, sometimes it could work, sometimes it couldn't. That's why I'm saying 50-50. An example is the story you just did of Elodie. But another example is, I don't know if you guys watched the 70s show, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. They were friends. Even after the show, they remained friends for over 10 years. They started dating. Now they're married with kids. Wow. So just know there's a chance. There's a chance it could go either way. So be okay. I think if you already, okay, the way I deal with things, right?
Yeah.
I deal with worst case scenarios. When I want to do something, I was like, what's the worst that would happen? And I start working from there. This is the worst, this is the second worst, so just start working with worst case scenario of what could happen if you tell him and he says no, or if you tell him and he says yes, and then you end up not being friends anymore.
Yeah, but as Nana said, you'll always know. You'll feel if the energy is mutual.
Is mutual.
So utakuwa pia unajua nikianzisha hii conversation inaenda direction gani. So don't be stupid. Just assess the situation before uanze you throw yourself out there and then
you know it doesn't feel the same.
And then you see when you're friends, you already know what
how they
stand
behave,
for, what they stand for. You know, there are those people who don't do maybe one night, half night stands. So don't try it with your best friend if you know that. Like you already know this person. If you're best friends with each other, then you know each other deeper kabisa. So usianze hapo uanze kusema okay, basi hata tufanye hii, sijui tufanye. No, and just be okay with whatever decision they take. Usianze kukua just because he said no to you or she said no to you. It doesn't mean she doesn't love you or doesn't love you. It loves you in a way that they don't want to spoil it in a relationship.
Yeah,
you know?
and vice versa. By the way, don't try and get someone who is not, you've seen him like not be in relationships. You've seen him be a one night stand kind of person, and then now all of a sudden you think because he's your best friend he's going to be in a relationship. That says don't do it. But anyway guys, that's it for life spot. We need to, are we going to advise spot? Let's advise you a little bit. Let's try and help you with your problems kidogo tu.